What we do here is go back.
What's going on, guys? Josh from soccerreviewsforyou.com. Hope you enjoyed the first part of my playtest review video on the brand new Adidas X17 Plus PureSpeed. If you did, be sure to support the video with a like. That would be awesome. And if you're watching one of my videos for the first time, please subscribe if you aren't already. I do reviews on all the latest boots. So what we're going to cover in this review is more so about the experience of wearing the X17 Plus PureSpeed rather than talking about all the different tech specs and little details. If you want to learn more about the specifics of the boot, I'll leave a little pop-up on screen to my standard review video where I go over absolutely everything you need to know. In this video though, the focus is on the experience and my general opinions on what this shoe is all about. I think it's pretty clear to see that the X17 Plus PureSpeed is a very similar overall boot to that of the shoe it replaces, the X16 Plus Pure Chaos. The overall elements that they've incorporated are nearly identical. They've made some very minor tweaks in regards to the upper material, which does have an impact on touch, as well as the overall shape and volume on the inside of the shoe, which has an impact on feel. So if you're a fan of the X16 Plus, the X17 Plus is the logical boot if you're looking for a very similar replacement with some very slight improvements. Starting off with the fit, they've made some very minor changes in regards to the overall volume of the shoe. The base shape and overall width has not changed at all. So if you fit comfortably in the X16 Plus Pure Chaos, you're still gonna fit in the PureSpeed. The difference between the Pure Chaos and the PureSpeed though, is that this brand new boot has a little bit less extra space on the inside. They tweak the shape in such a way where the lace cover actually fits a little bit closer to your foot, so there's technically less bulk there, which is really, really nice. And even in the toe box forefoot area, it's not any narrower, but the top part sits a little bit closer to the top of your foot. They just took away a little bit of excess material that didn't need to be there, which does make a big difference in terms of the overall lockdown and responsiveness of the shoe as well. If you can cut down on extra space on the inside of the boot, it has that more instantaneous reaction time. And overall, I was really, really happy with how responsive these feel in general. You put them on, you tie the laces tight, and the lacing system does a really good job of holding your midfoot in place, giving you good heel lockdown as well. There's a little bit of movement in the forefoot area just because it is such a shallow lacing system. You don't really have any kind of solid lockdown in this area because it's just loose material. But overall, because it fits that little bit tighter, the responsiveness I think has improved ever so slightly over the Pure Chaos. And like I said, the fit in general is quite good. It's a tighter fitting shoe, but definitely not as tight as something like a Mercurial. I would almost compare this in terms of overall shape to something like a Hypervenom. It's not exactly the same feel, of course, but it's similar to that in that it's tight, but still will fit most people. So if you don't mind that, you probably won't have any issues fitting into these. And as far as sizing is concerned, They run true to size. I wore my usual size 9 US for review, and the fit and the length was absolutely perfect. When it comes to touch, I like what they've done here with the PURESPEED. There are two changes that seem fairly apparent to me when I wear this shoe versus the Pure Chaos, and that is the thickness of the synthetic material as well as the texturing on the surface. Now, in regards to the thickness, you're not going to notice much of a difference here in the midfoot area where you actually have the lace cover. That material is the exact same thickness, but in the forefoot area where it is just standalone synthetic, it does feel ever so slightly thinner to me, but still maintains the same softness and the slightly padded backing as well. So the touch that it provides in general is on the thinner side. I wouldn't necessarily consider this to be a barefoot feel. There is more to it than that, but it has that thin yet padded sensation to it that I personally really do like. A very clean touch overall, I guess is the best way to describe it. And then the surface of the synthetic, the second change that they've made, instead of having that tearing graphic with a finish that's more of a matte feel to it, that doesn't offer very much grip on the ball, it's kind of a slick surface. This time around, they've gone with a completely smooth finish to the surface of the upper, but have completely covered it in the non-stop grip dots, which you definitely do notice in terms of texturing. And the end result is an upper that offers a little bit more grip on the ball when you make contact with your foot, which I personally do prefer as well, both in terms of dribbling as well as when shooting. It just gives you a little bit more of a controlled sensation, not necessarily actual better control, but I like the way that it feels in general. Now, as far as their Pure Cut system is concerned, which is basically the big lace cover through the midfoot, that's covering up, of course, the lacing system and the Tech Fit material underneath. Now, obviously, you do have two layers of material that are separate from each other here, which you would think might feel bulky, but honestly, it fits really, really nicely. They've adjusted the cut of this lace cover, so it fits that much closer to your foot, which makes them a little bit more difficult to get on than what we had with the Pure Chaos. But once they're on, it's not a big deal at all, and it gives you this nice tight wrap. It's really the only implementation, along with the Pure Chaos, of a lace cover that I actually like. And what's great about it is you have the same consistent finish across your entire foot, whether you're controlling the ball, juggling the ball, shooting, passing, receiving a pass, whatever it may be, you get a very consistent amount of grip and a very consistent feel on the ball, which I really, really like. The fact that you can tuck your laces into the underside of the lace cover as well, I think is a nice thing in terms of keeping it nice and clean when it comes to feel, as well as the overall look. It has the look of a laceless shoe, but still the benefits of having an actual lacing system in terms of locking the midfoot in place. So overall, touch on the ball and overall shooting experience, because of the material that they've incorporated here, I think is very good. As far as the sole plate and stud pattern is concerned, that is a direct carryover from what we got from the X16 Plus Pure Chaos. So it's still the sprint frame construction with the external heel counter, the same thin TPU plastic construction that offers a decent amount of flexibility to it, which I think just makes the shoe feel that much more natural and much easier to break in as well. And then of course you get their FG-AG stud pattern, which has pretty much the same layout you'll find across the entire Adidas brand. Given that it is labeled as a speed boot, you would expect this stud pattern to feel the most aggressive. Personally, based on my experience with everything from Adidas, I think the Nemesis line now has the most aggressive stud pattern in terms of what you can buy from the brand, but this stud pattern does still work quite well, and it is FG-AG, which is nice. You saw me using it on artificial grass in this playtest video. It works well on natural grass as well, and if you do want to only buy one pair of shoes to use on both artificial and natural playing surfaces, it's nice that you can do that with these and expect them to hold up decently well. As far as other quirks of the shoe are concerned, the one thing about the lace cover that's a little bit of a bummer is it is difficult to get the laces properly tight. Unfortunately, you kind of just have to loosen them before you put them on and then pull from the outside ends of the laces. And it does a pretty effective job of tightening the three lacing positions all the way down, but it definitely would be nice if you had more easy access to the laces while the shoes are on your feet, so you could adjust them section by section individually. Unfortunately, it's not possible because of how close the lace cover fits to the top of your foot. It's great when it comes to overall touch and having a clean feel with a lace cover, but again, you lose out on having access to the laces when the shoes are on your feet. Some people would argue as well that this is a mid-cut shoe. I definitely think it's a low-cut shoe. It doesn't feel mid-cut whatsoever. You have these extension pieces, but they offer nothing in terms of benefits in regards to fit. They actually have nothing to do with the fit. They're just there for aesthetic reasons. Same thing for this top piece that extends a little bit higher. And then you have the S-curve heel, which I'm still not a fan of aesthetically, but it is very comfortable. This shoe has one of the best and most comfortable heel areas, period. The concept of the S-curve heel is to relieve pressure on the Achilles tendon, and I definitely think you get that sensation because of this particular design. But given this part that kind of curls back and doesn't actually make contact with your foot, I feel like the same feeling would be achieved if that wasn't there in the first place. Just my opinion, but something I thought I would mention. And then of course the weight of the shoe, they weigh in a size 9 US, right around 7.3 ounces. So at the 7-ounce mark, they're relatively lightweight. Are there lighter shoes out there? Absolutely, but in terms of the comfort level that you get, the responsiveness of the shoe, and I guess the solid overall construction, there's nothing to complain about at the 7.3 ounce mark. So that is pretty much it for my opinions and overall experiences with the X17 Plus PureSpeed from Adidas. I'm a big fan of these in general, and I know the question everybody will ask, is this your new favorite? And with all the new releases from Adidas right now, notably the new Nemesis lineup, I have to say I'm a big fan of the Nemesis 17.1, but I think I like the X17 Plus PureSpeed just that little bit more, mainly because I'm a big fan of how this shoe fits. It's got a little bit more of a snug fit overall, plus I find it a lot more responsive. There's things about the Nemesis I like a little bit more, mainly the sole plate and stud pattern and the overall softness of that shoe as well, but the fact that you feel more locked down, more secure, and you have the slightly grippier feel to the upper with the PureSpeed, I just like it that much more. So overall, my personal favorite from the Adidas brand at the moment. Anyways, if you guys enjoyed this video, found it helpful and informative, be sure to support it with a like. If you have any questions for me regarding the X17 Plus PureSpeed, leave them down below in the comments and I'll do my best to answer them as soon as I possibly can. Subscribe if you haven't already, guys, for daily videos on all the latest and greatest soccer gear. You can find all of my social media information linked down below in the description as well. If you are interested in a pair of these for yourself, there'll be a link to the review page on my website. It'll be the first one down below, and on that page you will find buy it now links with exclusive SR4U coupon codes where you'll be able to pick these up below their normal $300 retail price. Of course, all my social media information is linked down below in the description as well. And other than that, guys, hope you enjoyed today's video, and as always, thanks for watching.